Hello.
Hi.
I've not
Sorry.
started this like every other episode, and that's because this is not going to be like every other episode, because this is like a quick fire update.
It's a quickie.
Yeah, well, there we go. So last week we did the super quick, let's get the changes for the exams
What
out there.
we knew at the time.
Exactly. And we did a full episode on it, which was really well received. Everybody was like, thanks for keeping us so up to date. And then, swiftly, what happened a few days afterwards is I got an email from Walbrook Institute. Actually, they messaged me on LinkedIn. It was a message.
As opposed to Susan just this one.
Yeah, and I sweated quite a lot.
There was a lot of stress.
Flapping. And they said, hey, Charlotte, we've seen that you've announced these changes. These are great. Can we catch up about them so that you can better update your students? Now, I felt privileged because they've never acknowledged me before. So this is a big moment for me.
Never acknowledged you nicely.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one. We're going to brush past that for a second. But I was officially acknowledged by Walbrook Institute, or the London Institute of Banking and Finance, as having an impact on students.
A positive impact on students, not just giving them nervous breakdowns and shit.
Positive impact on students, and I would consider now myself an influencer. That's it.
Are you a finfluencer?
Because they said, stop it. They said, we just want to update you better so that you can better update your students. Which means I have enough students.
That's you guys.
Yeah, that's you. So the reason that we're flapping around this is because some of the dates that I initially got and then initially called Walbrook Institute to confirm, and they confirmed it, have now changed. So I want to make sure everybody's got the correct information and the correct dates. So everything from the last podcast episode does still stand in the sense of the big changes that are happening, but it's just the dates that are slightly different. And I wanted to touch on that really quickly, which is why we're not going to do the intro and the dancey singy song. We're literally just going to get the relevant information.
Just so that we're clear, no one ever sees the dancey singy song. They just hear the intro music. It's just you and I, like a pair of bellends on this sofa or wherever we are choosing to sit, that do a little jig and hum along.
Do a little dance.
Like a pair of dorks. Exactly like that.
With that in mind, the first big thing that we had no idea about on the last episode is that on the 16th of July 2025, Walbrook Institute will be emailing all of their students. So Maria, that will include you.
Yay!
With all of these updates.
Okay.
And probably more information than what I'm going to be able to give everyone.
So, if you're anything like me, make sure that you haven't got them set to go straight in your spam folder.
Oh, you heathen. I can't believe you would do that to me.
Solidarity with you.
So that's the 16th of July. You, everyone that is registered for their exams already, is going to get an email to say much more than I'm going to announce in this podcast episode. So basically sit tight for the next 2 and a bit weeks for that, and then this podcast will be redundant. After that, what we established from the last episode was that the CeMAP exams are changing, predominantly CeMAP 1, and the deal was, as long as you paid for your exam before a certain date, you would have until January 2026 to sit the old material that I can support everybody with. That is still the same, except the dates are slightly different. So I think I gave everybody the 1st of August as the initial date. Turns out that's the 29th of September. God knows where the 31st of August came from.
Shit, that's a whole extra month.
Yep. So that means that as students, you have until the 29th of September to register for your CeMAP 1, 2 and 3 exams under the current syllabus. Which means that as long as you have paid for them before that date, you will be sound, because you then have until the 12th of January 2026 to sit those 3 exams.
Got it, okay.
There's a few people that will probably be thinking, Charlotte, that's absolutely bugger all time. If you're using something like an e-learning platform, actually that is heaps and bags and tons of time. Realistically, you'll be through, even if you're only putting less than an hour a day in.
Okay.
If you're using something like the e-learning platform, you'll be through CeMAP 1, 2 and 3 in about 12 weeks. Let's say 15 weeks because life, and maybe you take a break because you're having a nervous breakdown.
Seems reasonable.
That's still, what's 4, 8, 12, 3 months. You've still got a 3-month buffer. It's loads of time. So people kind of don't need to stress too much as long as you've got a plan in place.
But also, can I just caveat this with, don't be one of those people that messages and says, if I pay for my 1, 2 and 3 on 1 minute past midnight on the 29th of September, can I still sit the old stuff? Just fucking pay for it. Just book it and pay for it and stop being an absolute wet fish.
I can't say that to people.
I can, because I don't deal with any of you buggers. But seriously, if you're going to ask a question about dates if something is too late, the answer is probably yes, just book it. Just book it and get it squared away. If you want to do it, book it, get it squared away. If you're not sure if you want to book it, There's so much free stuff. Look
True.
at it and then decide and then book it.
Yeah.
That is the summary of my motivational talk this evening. You're welcome.
Actually, do you know what, a question that we didn't have an answer to in the last podcast was, if you, let's say you paid before the registration date, you then failed and had to pay a resit.
That was a valid question. Yes, I'll give you that.
Do you sit the old material or do you sit the new material?
Yeah.
I spoke with Gordon and he said you have until the 12th of January to resit the old material. So if it is you've registered for the old material, you can resit that as many times as you like.
Straight out of the G Unit's mouth.
Yeah. G Unit said
if
you've registered for the old exam, you will continue to resit the old exam until the 12th of January, regardless of how many times that will take to resit.
Okay, that's
Which
fine.
if you're using something like my e-learning platform, it won't happen anyway, but just in case, you've got that to fall back on. So what happens if you don't? So the 29th of, did I say the 29th of September?
September.
Yeah, so 29th of September is your last registration date. As of the 30th of September, the new material goes live. Now, I didn't ask whether they will automatically post people out new textbooks. I imagine they will give that in the 16th of July update.
But if they don't, we will follow up.
Yeah, because now I have G Unit's email, so I can follow up and ask the question.
Oh, maybe he's got you set to go straight in his spam.
Absolutely going to regret that. But they've said that all of the new material will be released on the 30th of September, and that includes updates digitally. They didn't confirm about the textbook, whether or not that's automatic, but anybody that registers after that date will automatically get the new textbook. For CeMAP 1, they've put the whole of CeMAP 1 in the bin, right? So CeMAP 1 will not exist after that date.
Yeah.
Instead, they've replaced it with something called the Financial Services Regulation and Ethics exam, which I didn't realise is actually the first exam you sit if you are studying to become a financial advisor.
Nails.
So if you are trying to do your diploma in financial advice, FSRE is the first exam that you sit. FSRE, that's actually what G Unit called it, FSRE. So that will be completely different. Now, if you are studying, or you've partially studied for CeMAP 1, you are going to have to put that in the bin, you are going to have to start with something else. The bonus is I'm already working on building that e-learning platform. So that's already in the works, which means by September, there will at least be a good amount of stuff for you to work on. It may not be a finished product because these things really do take time, but it will be as close as I can get it between now and September. And Maria can vouch for the fact that I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning and then go to bed at late because I'm trying to work on all of this stuff.
The fact that she asks me if I want to get up at 5 a.m. to work out practically every evening. It's like you're holding out hope that one day I'm going to be like, do you know what? That sounds great, instead of stare at you like you've grown a third head.
Well, I'm not working out anymore. I'm reading.
Now it's
got me book light that you gave me and I'm doing some studying.
So she texted me to say, I need one of these. Where can I get one? And it was a book light. And it took me approximately 3 minutes to go downstairs, get mine, and come upstairs, go into her bedroom and hand it to her. And she went, of course you fucking have one. And she sat there in the half light, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't even full light. It was like, what was it? Quarter to 11 last night with the fucking Lumi on that does not illuminate anything, squinting. And I was like, I had a minute where I nearly became my mother. You're going to ruin your eyes if you read in the dark like that. But anyway, you've got the book light.
My eyes are already ruined. Have you seen my taste in men? If we didn't know that my eyes weren't already ruined, that would have established it, ladies and gentlemen.
What's my excuse? Because I have accurate prescription on my glasses.
You just twisted. That's all I've got.
Fair. Okay. So anyway, commitment. There is commitment here.
I am trying to build everybody a new e-learning platform so that everybody's going to be prepared for those changes as fast as humanly possible. Anyone that bought the old one will automatically be enrolled into the new one, so you'll kind of see all those updates coming along. But the last bit of the update is, when do those new exams kick in? So we know that after the 30th of September, those registrations are going to be on the new material. The first date that you can sit that new exam is the 10th of November. What happens between the 30th of September and the 10th of November?
No man's land. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I don't even think Liv have figured it out yet.
G-Unit doesn't know yet either. No, he might do. I didn't ask the question. I didn't think to ask that question. But basically, the 10th of November is the date at which the exams change. And at that point, there is no learning provider that knows how to prepare you for those changes. Because what I found out after being honoured enough to be addressed by LIBF, the London Institute of Banking and Finance, is the accredited providers they don't accredit providers anymore, but the old guard that are still accredited, they don't get access to the material any sooner than I do, or that you do as a student. So I'm going to get access to the material by you ordering it to our address, right?
Same as everybody else.
The exact same as any accredited provider.
So there is not a single person who is going to know what is coming.
Unless you work for Walbrook Institute.
And I imagine it's a conflict of interests.
Probably.
To launch your own e-learning platform if you're working for Liv, though. Everyone is in the same boat. We're all kind of like paddling and hoping there's not a giant waterfall ahead.
But what I can tell you is that if there is anybody that is working really hard to get that new information out there, it is me.
I'm not, but Charlotte is working her balls off. If she had balls, they'd be sweating a lot. There have been a lot of late night conversations.
There's already a late night conversation. It is 20 to 10 on a Thursday of teaching week, and I'm making you record this so that we can get the information out there.
That's how committed we are.
And on that note, that's actually all we've got time for. This is not a standalone week episode. This will just come out at some point when I manage to get time to edit it and get it out there.
But it will come out ASAP to be...
Yeah, it's just an important
share
update.
The info.
And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed an extra
waffly
12 and a bit minutes.
Is that it?
Wow. Time flies when you're having fun, Maria.
I'm so full of shit. Well, it's been lovely. There's literally nothing else to say.
There is a blog post on this. If anybody wants a summary of... I can't bother to listen to you guys, but you've already made it to the end. There is a summary of all of these changes on the website. Oh, yeah, on the show notes. I'll put it in there. But there's also a blog post on the website. If you're not subscribed to the website, then joke's on you, because you could have got this information 2 days ago when I emailed it out to everybody. So a link where you can do that in the show notes as well. And that is all from us until next week, where, it's a CeMAP 2 and 3 week. Ooh. I know you're not jazzed because we've just done a CeMAP 1 recording before this, but I'm excited to see you guys there. So until next time.
From me and the Turbo Nerd, cue outro music.